Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? How is my nutty buddies doing today? Today is Friday. I food prepped yesterday. I'm getting ready to get up and go to the store to food prep again today so I can fill up my refrigerator. The food that I prepped yesterday, I put in the freezer. I left a few things out so I could eat today. But other than that, I'm getting ready to head to the store so I can food prep for today. But I just wanted to talk to y'all about living in a small space. How is it living in the van? Right now, my legs are cramped and folded up. But how is it living in a van? You guys, I enjoy van life. I enjoy van life. Van life is not all that it's cracked up to be. And when I say that, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because everybody's experience is different. And I want you to know that van life is not all the glitz and glam that you see these people showing you on YouTube, and that's all they show you. That's why I have my backup channel, Nomadic Therapy, and I show you the real life. I go live every day. I show you the real life of van life. Most of my van life consists of cooking, cleaning, eating, boondocking now, shopping, and everybody's experience is going to be different because everybody is living van life differently. Everybody has different income brackets. Everybody is doing van life for different reasons. Some people are doing van life strictly to grow their channel, strictly to make as much money as they can make off of YouTube. They can't afford to travel. The more you can afford to travel, the more sites you can afford to show people, the more experiences you can bring to your channel. Of course, the more money you're going to make. It seems like the real van lifers, the people that are really doing van life, and they are not traveling just to grow their channel, and they're just living and they're just surviving. Those channels and those people get less recognition and less attention. But if you want to just live in your van to save money, to do a little traveling for the experience, I would suggest that you watch channels that are real life van lifers. It's okay to watch the other people, but if you don't want to be disappointed in van life and you want to get a true expectation of what van life is going to be like, you need to watch people who are giving you all the behind the scenes of van life and not just painting a pretty picture of van life. Because van life, you're going to be cold sometimes. You're going to be hot sometimes. Sometimes when you're doing city van life, you're going to not be able to find a place to park. If you're parking at truck stops and stuff like that, if you're not used to that noise, it's going to be annoying. You're not going to be able to sleep. Sometimes when you go camping, if you're camping next to neighbors that are loud, sometimes, like in Houston when I went camping, it was a couple to the back of me and the side of me, they weren't very close to me at all, but they had crying babies, and the crying babies cried all night. So that's something you're gonna have to deal with. Boondocking in Nevada. I like boondocking in Nevada. I am far away from neighbors. I don't hear anybody, even though I have some neighbors that are kind of close to me, and I hear their kids on and off. But once I'm closed up in my van, I don't hear anything. So I like that. I like the fact, I like the fact that I haven't been paying for camping. That's amazing. Like, that's a bonus. That's a plus. But van life is going to be whatever you make it. Whatever you're wanting to get out of van life, you need to sit down. You need to decide, what is it that you want out of van life? Are you just trying to survive? Are you just trying to make it? Do you want to become debt free? So if that's the things that you want to do, if you don't have that much money to spend traveling, then you need to find places where you can do van life and spend as less money as possible. If I was not doing YouTube, or if I was not doing YouTube and I didn't need to make a living off of YouTube, I would just stay in places like where I'm at now and continue to boondock for as much as you can. A lot of people that do van life that do not have YouTube channels, they live in areas where they could camp on the BLM land all year long. And so their expenses are very minimal, and some of them are living on fixed incomes, and they can't afford to do all the campground sightings, but they see amazing and wonderful places, because there are a lot of amazing and wonderful places that are on BLM land. And every now and then they may go sightseeing, or drive a little farther somewhere for a day trip where they get to do a little sightseeing. So it totally depends on what you are wanting out of van life. If you are wanting a glamorized van life, then that means you're going to be spending a lot of money on traveling, a lot of money on gas, a lot of money on food, a lot of money on campsites and stuff like that. If you have that type of money and you could afford it, then live that type of van life. If you don't have that type of money and you're doing van life for the total opposite, is to save money and to just be able to afford to live comfortably and be able to see a few sights here and there, and to have experiences with other van lifers, and to be away from society and kind of be by yourself when you want to, then you're going to live van life differently. I'm living van life, number one, because it's what I want to do. I have the freedom to travel. I'm not traveling extensively like a lot of van lifers, but I am getting to see things that I've never seen in my life. I'm getting to go places that I've never went before in my life. So it's all an experience. I would say, do not compare your van life to anyone else's van life. Don't compare your life to anyone else's life. Van life is you're living in a van and you're living your life. Life is about your experiences. Life is about what you make it. Some people could boondock and just be here living and meditating and exercising and being healthy and getting healthier, and they're content with that. Long as you are living van life the way you want to live it, and you're content with it, that is all that matters. Don't look at other people's way of living van life and be envious of them, or be discontent with the way that you're living van life. Life is about a journey and taking steps. Maybe you're not able to do all the traveling and all the eating and all the sightseeing that other van lifers are doing, but keep doing van life and don't get dismayed. And eventually you can get to go see those places. Make a plan to see 1 or 2 places a year, if that's what you want to do. 1 or 2 places a year that will really give you excitement. See the world slower if that's the way you could afford to do it. I am just excited to be seeing the world how I can afford to see it, and how God enables me to see it, and just enjoying everything in its glory where I'm at. Every day, the sunset is a different sunset. So if I watch the sunset from this area, from this same exact spot every single day, it's a different experience, because every sunset and every sunrise is a different sunrise and a different sunset. No 2 days are alike. Life is what you make of it. Van life is going to be what you make of it and what you want to get out of it. So just enjoy the experience of where you are right now, and don't fret. Like, if you can't afford a van bill, then you can't afford a van bill. Get your sleeping bag and your pillow and do van life. If you have to live in your car, live in your car and do car life. Do what you can do on the level that you could do it at. Don't let anybody make fun of your experience. Get out of your own head. Well, I'm not really doing van life the way other people do it. I'm not doing van life the way other people do it. But I am doing van life the way the majority of people are doing it. Because the majority of people that do van life are not on YouTube, and they're not showing their lives. So you don't know what reason other people are doing van life for. So the glitz and glam of van life that's on YouTube, that is not the typical way that people are living van life. Yes, it's good and great they could afford to live that way, but that's not the typical way that 99.9% of the people that are doing van life live. A lot of people are doing van life who are just surviving. A lot of people are doing van life because they're homeless. They're one step above being on the streets, which is good. They have a roof over their head. They don't want to go into a shelter. They don't want to go into the system. So they live in their van and they make it. So I just want to share with you guys what it's like to live in a small space. I am not cramped. Another thing, I had my legs folded up. I felt cramped, y'all. I don't know why I had my legs folded up. But one thing about van life is most people that do van life don't spend the majority of their time in the van. So that's why they go places where they can get out of the van, where they can go camping, where they can go walking, where they can go hiking, where they can go swimming, where they can go canoeing, where they can go sightseeing, bird watching, and all of that stuff. So you're not living the majority of your time in your van, and you're experiencing. So That's why I am food prepping so I can get out of the van, because I'm spending so much time in the van cooking and cleaning. And a lot of people that do van life that are boondocking in the desert, they have tents where they set up a tent outside of their vehicle, and they have a kitchen in the tent where they can lounge in the tent and they can cook in the tent. So that is the typical way that people are doing van life. So I don't feel cramped or crowded in my van, even though I do spend a lot of time inside my van. I still don't feel cramped and crowded. And when I get tired of being in my van, I'll just get out of my van. I'll go walking. I'll go hiking. I'll go sightseeing. If I'm city van dwelling, I'll go to stores and I'll window shop. That's a good way to pass time when you're living in a van. It's just to go window shopping. You don't have to even be buying anything. Just get out and go inside of a store, go inside of a mall. And when you're ready to go back in your van, go back in your van. You don't always have to spend money just because you're on the outside of your van. I do everything in van life that I did in home life. It's just a different way of doing it. I cook, I clean, I eat, I sleep, I take a bath. I'm able to do more now than I was doing in home life because I have the freedom of going places that I wasn't going when I was in home life. You're bound. Your home comes with you everywhere you go. So no matter where you go, you're at home. And home is where the heart is, and home is where you make it for the night. But your home is with you everywhere you go. So I thank God for van life. I thank God for the opportunity to experience something different outside of the four walls of Houston, Texas, or the ghetto of Houston, Texas. So I thank God for that. I thank God for the peace of mind. I thank God for an experience to be able to grow, and my space is not too small. So I don't feel cramped. And that's the importance as well of living in your van with nothing in it before you decide to do a van build. Take it slow, build it slowly, build it out slowly. And yes, watch other YouTube videos. Yes, find other inspirational videos that you might want to build your van like, but try to customize your van to your needs, the way you're gonna live in it. That way you could get the most out of your van, and you will not feel cramped in your van because you built your van to how you want to live in it. I watched so many van life videos, so many van build videos before I even had a van. I thought my floor plan was going to end up like many of the regular van lifers. But because I lived in my van, because I tried some of the ideas that other people did, and then I realized that's not going to work for me, I was able to come up with this floor plan. I was able to come up with this floor plan that's very unique, and nobody else has this floor plan. And it's just right for me, for how I want to live van life. And that is the key to not being cramped in your van, not feeling claustrophobic in your van, is you're going to build your van how you are going to live in your van. And you can't do that if you immediately start building out a van the way that you've seen everybody else do it, without living in your van first, realizing what are you going to do. Some people that do van life, they are skiers. So they need to be able to put their skis, not their skis, surfboarders. They need to be able to put their surfboards in their van. So depending on how you're going to do van life, what kind of traveling you're going to do, what kind of hobbies you have, you're going to need to build your van differently. And that's why you need to live in it first. Do the things that you want to do in van life, and then you'll be able to find, where am I going to put this? Where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put this? I don't really have any outside hobbies, skiing, surfboarding, snorkeling, bicycling. I don't really have any of those extracurricular activities right now. So I didn't need room for any of that equipment and stuff. Most people that have storage in their garage for equipment, my storage in my garage is taken up by my love for cooking. I have 3 full sets of pots and pans that I am not willing to part with. My canned food is taking up space. So I'm living van life how I want to live life. I'm doing the same things I did in home life. And that was important to me, to be able to do the same things I was doing in home life, which is cook. So that is going to be it for me, you guys. If you have any questions about living in a small space, let me know, because you might have some different questions than what I've touched on. But you can live in a small space. You can survive in a small space. You can survive and live in your van in the winter. You just have to make provisions for the city and state that you're living in. You can live in your van in the winter. You can live in your van in the summer. I have done both. I have lived in my van and survived in the winter. I have lived in my van and survived in the summer in 110-degree weather. I think was the highest the temperature might have got in Houston, or 102. We hit 100 degrees in Houston this summer. I've survived. I made it. I lived. I didn't suffocate. I didn't freeze to death during the winter freeze that was in Texas. The record-breaking freeze that was in Texas that knocked everybody lights out. I was in Texas. I lived. I survived. I didn't freeze. I didn't die. And I was in my van. So I think the key components to surviving in your van during winter is a proper heat source. And a stove is just as good of a proper heat source as a heater. Don't waste your money buying both. Get the stove, because it will provide you with a way to cook and eat, and it'll provide you with heat at the same time. So that's going to be it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And also, if you're not subscribed to my other channel, Nomadic Therapy, that is my behind the scenes channel where I go live each and every day, showing you the realistic dealio of van life. And also, if you want to support the channel, it will be greatly appreciated. I do make it off of the support of the subscribers. My Cash App, my PayPal, my Amazon wishlist, and my mailing address will all be in the description box below. If you want to support me while I'm on the road right now, the best way to do so is through Cash App or PayPal, because I can't check my mail right now. So I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate my nutty buddies, and I love you guys, and y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Thanks for watching Vanessa's Van Life Journey. I am Vanessa, and I live in a van, and her name is Treasure. Bye now. He trying to get out. He want to become a van life bird. Anybody do van life, they have a bird. This dog is just running up to me. What does she want? What do you want? Stop! I could sit here all day, you guys. Beautiful. Say hey. Say hey.